Can something as delicate as glass hide the strength of steel? Or can one small finger push against the limits of what we believe is possible? Around the world, some individuals quietly challenge assumptions about the body and the rules society often treats as fixed. Beneath lives shaped by daily obstacles, they carry an inner strength that rarely seeks attention, but steadily reshapes what determination looks like. These stories are not about spectacle, but about resilience, adaptation, and the quiet choice to turn difference into dignity. As you step into these journeys, consider where real strength might truly begin. Comment 1 if you believe these stories reveal hidden truths, or 0 if you're still unsure. Remember to like and subscribe so you won't miss what comes next. Joseph Williams began life facing a rare biological challenge that changed how he connected with the world. Instead of stepping back, he built bridges through technology, patience, and determination, showing that communication extends far beyond spoken language. Rather than accepting limiting labels, he chose honest work and independence, quietly earning respect through effort. In this everyday setting, he met Vanya, a moment that gently questioned what first impressions really mean. Joseph's story reminds us that real connection rarely begins with appearance or sound, but with presence, perseverance, and the courage to be known as we truly are. Vanya later admitted her first reaction was surprise, but she chose to pause and look beyond appearances. Their connection deepened through patient digital conversations, where thoughts and feelings found clear expression. A modest wedding in 2020 became a quiet reminder that human wholeness is shaped by empathy, not form. Together, Joseph and Vanya built a life grounded in respect, where outside curiosity slowly faded away. Their story shows that love follows its own logic, guided not by visual standards, but by understanding, dignity, and shared trust. Sarwan Singh, an Indian-born man living in Canada, offers a powerful example of faith expressed through lifelong dedication. His record-setting beard, stretching beyond 2.5 meters, is more than a physical feature. It reflects decades of spiritual discipline and respect for tradition. By choosing never to cut it since adolescence, he follows the belief of preserving one's natural form as a sacred trust. His story provides an educational reminder that devotion can appear in many forms, and that identity rooted in belief and consistency can become a quiet source of strength and purpose. Caring for his beard has become a daily ritual requiring patience, focus, and calm, almost like a quiet form of meditation. Beyond setting records, Sarwan is often seen as a bridge between tradition and modern life, showing how ancient values can exist gracefully in today's world. His story offers a thoughtful lesson about cultural respect and personal identity. Like a living thread connecting past and present, his beard reflects pride, continuity, and the strength that comes from honoring one's beliefs in a constantly changing society. In Turkey, brothers Mehmet and Kerem Selman carry what could be called a quiet masterpiece of nature in their eyes. Heterochromia gives them a striking contrast, one eye reflecting icy ocean blue, the other holding the deep brown warmth of the earth. This rare genetic trait appears when melanin pigment is distributed unevenly, creating an almost artistic imbalance that quickly draws attention. From a scientific view, their eyes resemble a living gallery of harmless genetic variation, reminding us that the randomness of biology can sometimes produce extraordinary results, turning a simple difference into something fascinating in the story of human diversity. The striking color split in the brothers' irises does more than spark curiosity. It quietly reflects the harmony that can exist within difference. Although they drew attention from a young age, Mehmet and Kerem remained calm and grounded, choosing a simple life shaped by resilience and quiet confidence. Their story shows that difference is not a barrier but a gift that allows us to view the world through a richer, more colorful lens. In many ways, they stand as gentle ambassadors of individuality, reminding us to value the unique marks that nature thoughtfully gives to every person. The story of Linda Bannon and her son Timmy reflects the strength of the human spirit rising beyond physical limits. Born with a rare genetic condition that left them without upper limbs, they turned challenge into an opportunity for creativity and adaptation. Rather than focusing on what was missing, they trained their feet to become remarkable tools for daily life. Linda, both a mother and speaker, encouraged Timmy to not only adapt, but also succeed in sports and academics. Their journey offers a clear lesson in positive thinking, reminding us that limits often exist more in perception than reality, and that determination can overcome unusual biological barriers to build a meaningful life. Amid the misty mountain slopes of the Zero Valley, the Apatani tribe has created what could be called a living golden ecosystem, where human life moves in rhythm with nature. Without relying on heavy machinery, they practice a masterful form of sustainable agriculture in which rice and fish grow together in a graceful cycle of coexistence. This is more than farming. It reflects a deep understanding of the flow of life itself. Their terraced fields stand as a lasting natural heritage, demonstrating how thoughtful tradition and self-sufficiency can shape a balanced relationship between people and the land. One of the most distinctive features of Apatani women, the traditional facial markings they once wore, was never simply about appearance, but about history and identity. In earlier times, these marks served as a quiet strategy to protect personal and cultural values during periods of outside pressure. Over time, they became powerful symbols of pride, telling the story of resilient women who transformed difference into a language of strength. Today, they stand as reminders of a generation that used tradition not just for beauty, but to affirm dignity, unity, and the enduring identity of their community. The spiritual life of the Apatani people is shaped by Doni Polo, a belief that honors the sun and the moon as symbols of balance and moral order. These celestial forces are viewed not only as sources of light, but as gentle guides influencing human behavior and responsibility. Within this worldview, everyday life becomes an effort to stay in harmony with nature. Their tradition offers a thoughtful reminder that lasting balance begins with respect for the natural rhythms that sustain both the universe and the human spirit. As the world continues to change, the spirit of the Apatani people remains steady, rooted in balance and quiet strength. Their traditions show how culture can become a source of resilience rather than resistance. Guided by deep respect for nature, their way of life offers insight into living with care, restraint, and purpose. The Apatani story reminds us that true progress does not erase identity, it becomes stronger when development and preservation move forward together, shaped by wisdom, continuity, and self-awareness. In Uganda, the story of Godfrey Baguma is more than a simple account of a humble shoemaker. It is a lesson in personal reinvention. When a rare biological condition began to reshape the features of his face, Godfrey chose not to withdraw from the world. Instead, he began a courageous journey to protect and provide for his family despite the hardships of poverty. His participation in unusual beauty competitions was not an act of insecurity, but a thoughtful strategy for survival from a father determined to support those who depended on him. Kate's presence in his life became a clear example of genuine connection. Despite social judgment and doubt from those around them, she chose to look beyond appearance and recognize sincerity, responsibility, and kindness. Their marriage, raising 8 children, grew into a symbol of loyalty and perseverance. Over time, Godfrey transformed from a quiet craftsman into an engaging performer, using his unique identity to bring life to music and comedy stages. His story shows that when the human spirit is confident and open, physical differences can become a form of expression, and true love can unlock hidden potential. The story of Gilvaneide Martins in Brazil reflects resilience and hope. Born with severe swelling in her legs caused by a lymphatic condition, she continues to live with confidence, optimism, and an appreciation for beauty. Her simple dream, wearing a pair of high heels, is more than a wish for style. It represents a desire to belong and experience life fully. Gilvaneide's journey encourages compassion and understanding, reminding us that small joys we overlook may be lifelong dreams for others. Her story is a gentle reminder that hope can remain strong even in difficult circumstances. In a world designed for hands and feet, Amy Brooks stands as an example of intelligence and creativity. Born with a rare biological condition that left her without limbs, Amy refused to let circumstance define her future. Raised with strong support from her family in Pittsburgh, she turned challenges into remarkable abilities. By skillfully using her lips, chin, and balance, Amy learned to manage daily tasks with precision. From writing and cooking to sewing activities that require great care, she developed methods that reflect determination, adaptability, and the potential of the human mind. At first glance, Amy's channel "How Does She Do It" seems like a simple question, but the answer goes beyond tips. Through each post, she challenges the idea that life must stay within limits. Amy doesn't just adapt. She reshapes circumstances with determination and creativity. As a writer and speaker, she turns experience into insight, showing that purpose is measured by impact, not appearance. Her story invites viewers to question old boundaries. When perspective shifts, opportunity expands. Amy ultimately shows that freedom begins in the mind, where vision and will shape what becomes possible. In the world of Deja and Antoine, even simple actions like a deep breath or a sudden sneeze can test the fragility of their bodies. Both live with osteogenesis imperfecta, often called the brittle bone condition, where bones are compared to delicate crystal. Over the years, they have experienced more than 600 fractures between them. Yet their story is not defined by hardship, but by resilience. With every recovery, their bond grows stronger. They are more than partners in life. They become each other's emotional healers, understanding every discomfort and easing it with patience, empathy, and deep connection. In the fast-moving digital world, where judgment often travels faster than kindness, Deja and Antoine respond in an unexpected way. Instead of meeting criticism with anger, they answer it with humor, turning wit into a quiet shield of strength. For them, physical fragility is not a limit on destiny, but a starting point for confidence and creativity to grow. By reshaping challenges into motivation, they offer a powerful lesson in acceptance and perspective. Their story reminds us that even when the body is delicate, determination can remain unshakable, encouraging others to face life with courage, balance, and hope. Tucked within the remote Omo Valley, often called a cradle of ancient human heritage, the Morsy people preserve a powerful expression of cultural identity. For them, the body is not merely physical form, but a meaningful canvas that carries heritage, dignity, and connection to the natural world. Every traditional adornment tells a silent story, reflecting the balance between community and environment. In this landscape, history is not archived in books, but lived each day, seen in gestures, customs, and the steady confidence of a culture deeply rooted in harmony and ancestral wisdom. In Morsy culture, maturity is not measured by age, but by patience, resilience, and inner discipline. Traditional facial markings worn by women serve as quiet symbols of identity and respect for ancestral values, reflecting a path shaped by commitment and cultural pride. These practices focus less on appearance and more on strength of character. Through ritual dances and shared traditions, younger generations learn courage, balance, and perseverance, guided by the steady presence of history and collective memory. Before the sweeping pace of the modern era reached their lands, the Morsy people chose a path of thoughtful adaptation rather than simple resistance. They turned tradition into a form of cultural protection, engaging with the outside world while preserving what defines them. Ancient customs now stand beside modern encounters, creating a living dialogue between past and present. Their story shows that identity, when understood and respected, becomes a powerful source of strength, allowing a community to stay rooted and resilient while time continues to move forward. The life of Malee Duangdee, known as the tallest woman from Thailand, tells a story shaped by challenge and quiet strength. A rare medical condition in childhood led to her remarkable height and brought lifelong health struggles. Though her life was brief, her legacy reaches beyond physical stature. Malee is remembered for her calm spirit, resilience, and gentle perspective. Her journey reminds us that life is fragile, and true meaning is found not in years or appearance, but in compassion, courage, and the dignity a person carries through every moment. Master Ho Eng Hui, widely known as Master Ho of Malaysia, embodies discipline shaped through patience and time. His striking demonstrations are not meant as spectacle, but as the result of decades devoted to refining breath, focus, and body awareness. Through consistent practice and connection with natural elements, his strength developed gradually, guided by control rather than force. Beyond physical skill, his path reflects mental clarity and humility, reminding us that true power is not measured by applause or records, but by self-mastery and respect for one's own limits and energy. In Thailand, Duang Jay became a symbol of courage while living with an extremely rare condition involving abnormal tissue growth. Her arm, affected by a large buildup of skin and fatty tissue, brought both physical difficulty and emotional challenges. For years, she chose a quiet life away from public attention, protecting herself from constant curiosity. Yet instead of letting hardship define her story, Duang Jay stepped forward with determination. By sharing her experience, she turned a personal struggle into a message of resilience, encouraging others to see strength, dignity, and hope beyond outward differences. Her journey offers a powerful example of human adaptability. Although medical risks made surgery too dangerous, she continued to care for herself and help run her family's small business. The image of a modest woman carrying an extraordinary physical burden, while still smiling and working, became a quiet lesson in self-acceptance. Duang Jai's story reminds us that human dignity is not defined by biological limitations, but by the courage to stand firm and keep moving forward despite pain and social judgment. Next, we arrive at a fascinating story about records shaped by the unexpected generosity of genetics. Byron and Emily Schlanker from New York became remarkable figures because of an unusual physical trait: the extraordinary width of their tongues. What might seem like simple measurements in inches and centimeters suddenly gained global attention when they represented a world record, turning a rare personal feature into an international point of curiosity and pride. From a scientific perspective, their story highlights how natural variation appears and passes through generations within the human population. The shared trait between father and daughter shows both the precision and the occasional surprises of genetic inheritance. Rather than feeling awkward about it, the Schlanker family responded with acceptance, humor, and openness. What began as a small physical difference grew into a source of connection and positivity. Their experience offers a simple lesson: embracing who we are helps us see that diversity, even in the smallest details, is what makes humanity so rich and fascinating. Throughout human history, our genetic code has carried mysteries that science has not fully unraveled. In Mexico, one family lives with an unusual biological trait that researchers describe as the reactivation of ancient genetic links, sometimes referred to as an expression of ancestral evolution. Rather than a defect, the natural covering that appears on their bodies is often viewed as a mark of heritage, a reminder of humanity's distant origins and the deep pathways written into our DNA. Victor, Gabriel, Louisa, and Jesus carry more than a distinctive appearance. They represent a story of resilience in the face of social misunderstanding. Across 5 generations, with 19 family members sharing this rare trait, they have turned difference into a source of pride. Instead of hiding from curiosity or judgment, the family chose to step forward and let their presence help the world better understand human biological diversity. Their story reminds us that a person's value is not defined by blending in with the crowd, but by the courage to embrace one's unique identity. In doing so, their lives invite a broader view of beauty, acceptance, and compassion in human society. The Marshall family in England, Mother Chantal and her 4 daughters, have expressed personal control over their bodies through cosmetic procedures, turning their vision of beauty into reality. Their story is not only about changing appearance, but also about family connection built around a shared belief in confidence and self-expression. Despite mixed public opinions, they remain united, viewing aesthetic enhancement as a kind of modern family tradition. Their experience raises thoughtful questions about the balance between personal preference and social perception, while highlighting the importance of understanding and support across generations within a family. Emily Green's journey reflects courage shaped through self-discovery and resilience. At just 22, she was diagnosed with MRKH syndrome, a rare condition that challenged her understanding of identity and womanhood. The news brought uncertainty, but not defeat. Choosing openness instead of silence, Emily focused on healing, learning, and self-acceptance. By sharing her experiences online, she turned a personal challenge into a source of encouragement for others. Her voice helps broaden the conversation about female identity, reminding people that dignity is not diminished by difference, but strengthened through authenticity and confidence. In a world where a smile is often seen as the universal key to connection, Taylor Clement lives with a face that tells a different story. She has a rare neurological condition that prevents the muscles responsible for facial expression from functioning normally, making it difficult to show emotions through typical expressions. During her early years, Taylor often felt she was navigating life alone, facing misunderstanding and limited awareness from others. Medical challenges and emotional struggles sometimes created distance between her and the outside world, leaving moments of quiet isolation as she searched for her place. From life's quiet challenges, Taylor's inner strength slowly came into view. Rather than trying to fit narrow expectations, she chose to expand the meaning of beauty itself. Through sport and fashion, she stepped forward as a symbol of diversity, confidence, and self-belief. Her presence shows that connection is not defined by facial movement, but by authenticity, focus, and inner strength. With each appearance, Taylor shares a simple message: everyone deserves to be seen, valued, and proud of the form they were given. Today, Taylor Clement is more than someone who overcame challenges. She has become an inspiring voice for people facing self-doubt. Through her story, she shares a powerful message. Biological differences are not errors to fix, but unique traits worthy of respect. The legacy Taylor builds centers on confidence and self-worth, reminding others that true beauty grows from self-acceptance. Her message encourages people to embrace what once felt like flaws and turn them into a path toward personal freedom, where determination rises above physical limits. Uljana Semjonova was more than an athlete. She became a remarkable figure in the history of world sports. Standing 213 centimeters tall, she appeared like a towering presence on the basketball court, making even the toughest competition seem smaller beside her. During the brightest decades of her career, Uljana was a dominant force, leading her team to extraordinary achievements, including prestigious Olympic gold medals. Her extraordinary height was a gift of nature, but it was her refined skill and unwavering determination that secured her place among the legends of the Global Basketball Hall of Fame. Uljana's life story stands as a lesson in discipline and the thoughtful use of natural strengths. Instead of letting her exceptional height set her apart, she turned it into an advantage through skill, strategy, and determination. Her influence did not end when her playing career concluded. It remains a symbol of excellence and professionalism. Uljana Semjonova shows that true greatness emerges when physical gifts are guided by ambition and character, creating a legacy that continues to inspire generations beyond the court. The story of Flo and Lyman, twin sisters with remarkable autistic savant abilities, reveals the extraordinary potential of the human mind. They possess exceptional memories, recalling precise details about weather, events, and schedules from decades ago. Living in close harmony, they rely on order and repetition as a steady way to navigate the world. Their fascination with television programs and legendary characters reflects the deep focus often linked with autistic thinking. Their story has intrigued researchers and the public alike, reminding us that the human brain is a complex landscape where unexpected abilities can emerge, revealing a rich inner world shaped by memory and connection. The story of Risikat and her daughters in Kwara State, Nigeria, shows the remarkable diversity of human genetics. Their bright blue eyes, an extremely rare trait among people of African descent, create a striking contrast with their dark skin. At first, this difference led to confusion and challenges, but Risikat remained confident and proud. Over time, her journey became a powerful example of natural genetic variation, challenging assumptions about race and appearance. Their blue eyes are more than a visual curiosity. They reveal the surprising diversity within human DNA and remind us that beauty has no boundaries. Sadika Parvine, from West Bengal, was one of the tallest women ever recorded due to a rare hormonal condition. Despite her extraordinary physical growth, she faced constant physical pain and social isolation. In 2014, a significant medical surgery helped stabilize her health condition. Although she passed away in 2024, Sadika's legacy remains a reminder of resilience and the will to live. Is being different a gift from nature or a harsh test of fate? Her story stands as proof of the incredible strength of the human spirit. Comment 2 if you're impressed, or 5 if you want to discover more shocking stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss more powerful stories about human strength.